This is episode 37. I'm so glad to be back. This is Jazzy here.
And this is Jenn.
And this episode is about pearls of wisdom. So, this is a bit interesting how we're doing it. Jenn and I will be sharing our perspectives and our views. And then you will be hearing from our other Lotus Chat ladies, that being Laura and Zian, and hopefully Miss Matilda. So, um, let's start off with this. What is a pearl of wisdom?
Yeah, Jazzy, that is a great question. So when we decided to do this episode, we thought that the term pearls of wisdom is something that I'm sometimes we may have heard in the past, or like as kids, as we grow up, certain things, either sayings, certain teachings, things that we've learned from either our parents, our family, our friends, things that maybe a colleague might have told you or a mentor, a pearl of wisdom that they've imparted to you that has really impacted you in your life and or taught you something very poignant and something that you've kept with you throughout your life. So we thought this would be a perfect way for each of you out there to be able to get to know us a little more. And to anyone who's new, we hope that this video will be a great introduction to who we are as Lotus ladies, who we are in our lives, and we invite you all to continue this journey with us. So Jazzy, pearl of wisdom. So let's go ahead and start with just something that you feel in your throughout your life that has really impacted you, that somebody has either told you and or a discussion that you've had that's really been impactful for you.
Okay, so I think that my take on this is a little bit different, and it's not so much in a literal sense of of a conversation that I've had with someone in the past, but more so, more of an indirect lesson that I've received from my environment, and that being my parents and my family, um, my friends and mentors along the way, which is um, living a transformed life is a choice. So going from one type of circumstance or situation, or knowing that, or even nothing, having nothing and making something of that, is something that I've learned to become resourceful and innovative with. And I feel like I've definitely have learned this from the women in my life, which is to create something out of nothing, whether that be a home, a perspective, a new way of behaving, and to create a new dynamic that I can live by. And this has been so powerful for me because everything essentially in this life is a choice, whether or not we feel like it. There are times where we could feel like we're a victim of circumstance or situation. And essentially, when it comes down to it, like everything is my responsibility in my life. And as it is for everyone, whether or not we see that, I think that the moment we do see that is when impact and change and a new chain of events can occur. And one thing that has guided me along is just hearing the voices of hope and faith in the people that I speak to. Um, that this is what's taught me how to keep going, how to keep growing, how to continue evolving, how to choose from my inner guidance system. Um, is just being knowledgeable and well aware of the choices that I'm making. Um, a set of emotions, how long I experience them. That it's it's essential. It's quintessential for growth, and just for every path and trajectory I choose on this life journey of mine is essentially like allow myself to be renewed by the renewing of my mind. So every moment and every situation is a new segment, and with that comes a new set of choices that I get to embrace and channel into and make something new with. And I'm sure that I can elaborate more, but let's dive in a little bit. I want to um back into this, circle back in a little bit.
Oh, Jazzy, thank you for just your expression, your your truth that you just spoke about, the fact that a pearl of wisdom can actually come from an experience, from that inner wisdom that you gain through those experiences. It's I know I did mention it could be like something that somebody might have said or all of that, but the fact that we can each gain that inner wisdom through the lives that we lead, through the experiences and the people that we meet, and that it becomes our inner guide. Like our inner guide just starts leading us in different directions and to different ways, and that's exciting in itself. So thank you for really putting that out there. For me, like when I was thinking pearls of wisdom, I thought, well, there's so many things that people have told me in the span of my lifetime so far, and certain things that have really struck me and stayed with me in times in my life where I really did need that guidance. And I know for me that those external people's words really did play a huge role. I think up to the point where I am now. I did mention in previous Lotus episodes that I did take in a training course of self-development, of learning a little more about myself. And a lot of the things that I learned through the people I met there, I would consider each of those things a pearl of wisdom that, they taught me. And I learned more about myself. But in terms of like also going even further back in my life, my grandparents, my aunts, one of the things that my grandfather used to tell me, which has, funny enough, come around more than once in my life, is this saying that si es para ti, regresara. And
Okay, say
basically,
that slowly. Say that
yeah,
slowly.
si
What is
es,
that? Say that.
si es para ti, regresara. And what my grandfather used to tell me, if it's meant for you, it'll come back. And
Mm,
there were instances in my life where, I'd cry about something that I would lose, or cry about something that was leaving my life, or cry about something that happened that was unexpected, or that really shook me, or, those type of instances in one's life. And he would just come and sit by me, and he would see me and tell me, smile. Why are you crying? If it's for you, it's going to come back in some way, shape, or form. That's basically what my grandfather was telling me. And even to now, like to this day, it could it could be synonymous with people in one's life. It could be synonymous with an experience, an opportunity that you think was the be all end all opportunity of your life, and then it comes back around in a different way, and you're like, oh, you know what? My grandfather was right. If it's meant for you, it's going to come back, even if it looks a little different, feels a little different. There you go. This is what's meant for you. And so that's one of the ones that I would say is a pearl of wisdom that my grandfather left with me.
it kind of reminds me of what David Casper in our leadership program has shared with us, which is if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And 100% is possible 100% of the time. So never lose that faith and never lose that hope, and keep that grace and grit. Um, and that's also something I learned throughout life is grit. Let's see, grit to me, like I create acronyms. So grit is grace, resilience, and internal toughness. So once like just knowing
Mm.
that like, you know, we get to choose a suit of armor that we wear in the world, or maybe not even armor, just like the accessories of who we are. Um, and it's a wonderful thing to know that one thing my dad had shared was actually knowledge is the one thing that no one can take away, and wisdom is what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So even while you're in waiting, or if something is like something that you really do want, like your really big goal or aspirations, like if it's for you, you'll know it. And in the meantime, it's like be that person that lines up with that, um, be that transformed state, even though you're not there where you want to be yet, but you're on your way. To know that is a wisdom I know that I can definitely apply in my everyday. And I love, like I have such beautiful people in my life who share like so many gems, and I wish I had like written them all down just to be able to, and maybe what I'll do is I'll post them in the comments when I do collect them. So that way everyone can kind of like go and pick at them because I could definitely write a book with a lot of the things that has been shared with me. Um, well, yeah.
Jazzy, speaking of gems, like it's true. I mean, there's so many things that people have told us that we wish we could just like, have written down somewhere sometimes. But yet there are those things that you realize, if somebody hadn't told me that at that time in my life, like, who knows what would have happened. And even if you can't remember what they said, obviously you're here at this point in your life because of those things, that inner guidance or that wisdom that you've gained through your own inner strength or through the words that somebody might have said to you in the past. And we applaud all of you out there who are on that journey of self-discovery, who are on that, journey of empowerment, self-empowerment. And as Jazzy, like you said, strength. I love when you spoke about strength because there is something that I know for me, getting to know myself more, getting to know my voice more, because we as women sometimes may feel like we have to dim our voices, in this world, and we really shouldn't. No matter where we are, no matter who we're with, our voices are powerful. And our inner strength is even more powerful because imagine the things that we can accomplish as women in this world. And one of the things that for me has come for me, what I've learned is to be more at home with my inner strength. And if I could look at myself like 2 years ago, even to now, huge change, because I see myself here speaking to each of you all out there. I would never have imagined in a million years that I would be doing this with such amazing women. And I would have to say a lot of that comes from the strength that I've gained through each of these women, through the women in my life who are very strong, Hispanic, Mexican women who are like, this is our home, this is our life, and we are going to make sure that everybody has what they need. We're going to make sure that we continue to learn. And it's just all these things that I've been imparted in my life. And I'm going to share something with all of you out there. My family has gone through a lot of things the last couple of years. And and my family's basically, I would say my close family's majority women, very strong, powerful women. And there were times the last couple of years where we had to really come together to help each other because we didn't really have anyone else. And we realized that we had to just get through it. There was even one instance where, unfortunately, the women in my life were going through some very, very hard things. And I felt like in that moment, I had to really take the reins and be the person that they needed. And in one instance, my sister, who, fortunately couldn't be with us because we wanted to keep her safe while we were going through these things, would send me messages. And I remember one message that she sent me one day because I was just feeling so tired and I was feeling so like depleted in my energy. And I was like, my God, like I have all these people that I want to make sure get better. I have all these people that I want to make sure are going to be okay. And she sent me this message and she said, she needed a hero. So she decided to become the hero that she needed.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I was like, sis, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Because, yeah, in that moment where my family needed me, I realized I had to step up. And there are times in your life where you are going to have to step up. If there's nobody else around, you become the hero that you need. Sometimes we look externally, but sometimes we really just have to go inside of ourselves and realize that we are each the heroes that we really do need. So that was something very powerful that I still keep with myself today.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, is that you are the one that you're looking for. You are the one that you need the most, right? And at the same time, even through your own journey, like, um, you never know who you're inspiring because you decided to be relentless with your determination. So stay steadfast with what your goals and aspirations are, and be be authentic to what your dreams are, because they get to live if you say so. Um, a big thing that I can hear many voices and in my mind say is, oh, what the fuck? Go for it anyway.
It's so true. It's so true.
Fucking go for it. You know, go for it anyways. It may be a rough draft. It may be raw and unfiltered. It may be the beginning of something fucking amazing. So, like, why not? And like I said, you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who you're becoming unless you just do what you feel is what's true to you. And whatever it takes for you to move into a new space and be uncomfortable and grow, because I mean, I describe life like a garden, right? Where it's like you've got these seeds, and then you've got this piece of land, this empty canvas that you can just grow things in. But what else other than shit and fertilizer makes this garden grow? And with a little bit of welcoming water and sunshine and sunlight, the freedom to just be present with who you are. And I mean, things can sprout in a day and things can sprout in years. So you never know what you're going to get. I mean, unless you just continue to water and nurture that part of you that wants to do whatever it is. Whether it's like start a new venture, start a new relationship, um, heal from the past. Even though a past might be dark and ugly, like it still serves as contrast, and you learn and you can pivot and you can shift. You don't have to be who the world says you are. You get to be who you say you want to be. You get to be everything you've ever imagined. And that's good and the bad. So make sure it's not ugly, right? Um, unless, whichever. We don't have to go there. But so, and another thing that I'm not sure who told me this, but it was, if God led you to it, then he'll help you through it. So go on and glow on anyway. Um, and just shine in your radiance and your brilliance. And that could be anything. It doesn't got to be perfect, right? You just allowing to be who you are authentically and accept that, and allow the world to accept that. And you're not going to get it perfect, but you'll always find teachers and people who will help shape and mold you, but they won't ever define you. But it's up to you to find you.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
uh, I'm just vomiting here. I feel like I can have like a string of pearls, but like, am I doing this right? Is a pearl of wisdom just one gem, or is it?
A pearl of wisdom is
Oh,
many
we just make
gems. Many gems.
okay. Then let's just make necklaces.
Exactly. Exactly. That's beautiful, Jazzy. And I'm glad that you are, basically telling everybody here to just glow and just be. And even if you like they say, like if you feel like you're being silly or it's a little like uncomfortable, just be in that moment. Be present in that moment. How like I always okay. So I have a friend of mine, and my friend and I, when we get together, it's all about just the fun. It's all about almost
Yeah,
like being in that childlike, like, let's just have an adventure today. Let's see
that's
where
the
it takes.
best.
And that's the way we should really look at life. Let every day be an adventure. Let every day be, try to get yourself out there. Try something new. I used to really not venture out very much beyond like the box that I had created for myself. And once I started venturing out and deciding to take risks and take chances, all of a sudden my life got even more exciting and fun. And I was like, wow, I was missing out. Like, I'm sure I've told everybody out there that I was in a pretty long-term relationship, and that pretty much became my world. It was my little box. When I left that relationship and decided to go out there and really start meeting new people and having new experiences, I learned so much. And I would not take any of those experiences back for a second. And it was a time of, I would say, rejuvenation, a time of freedom, breaking away from my past. And that's what happens when you break away from your past. All of a sudden, it almost seems like the world is your oyster. You could be anything that you want. And that is something very important that also, in the act of breaking away, there is something to remember as well. And my grandmother would always tell me, and it's something that I've kept with myself too, is never forget the intelligent, loving, kind, and respectful woman that you are, no matter what happens. So, in the process of change, never forget who your inner essence is, who you really are. The world may try to tell you, be like this person, do this like this person, but always stay true to your core and to what's in your heart, because that is the real you. And nobody should take it away from you, and nobody should try to make you anything that you're not. Yeah.
For sure. And if they do, you give them permission to. So also be aware of that. Like, what are you giving permission to exist in your experience?
Yeah.
How are you leading your life, or are you allowing others to dictate it?
Ooh.
And to add to what you were saying, um, this is an invitation to be unapologetically yourself. Be unapologetically authentic. Be intentional and well aware of your power, and be responsible of your power. Don't just live your life, but lead your best life.
Ooh. See, and we're throwing out these pearls of wisdom for all of you in this conversation itself. So, and we will be sure to put all these in the description box below in case anything resonates with you today from this discussion on our pearls of wisdom. We welcome each of you to share with us also any pearls of wisdom that you or ways of being, inner wisdom that you've gained throughout your life in the comments section below. And please come back and see us weekly. We have weekly episodes, and we welcome each of you to continue the journey with us. And to anybody who's out there who's new, thank you for joining us today. Please like, share, subscribe, follow. We are on YouTube and Spotify. So if you would like to listen to us, on the way to work, maybe when you're at the gym, or whatever time you do that, we invite you to join us there too. Jazzy, do you have any last words for our viewers today and listeners?
I guess the last thing is to, um, I guess, be mindful also of the things that you're grateful for, because when you acknowledge what you are grateful for, more of that comes to you, and more of that continues to grow, and the more that continues to brighten and lighten and enliven your life. So continue to fill your life with riches, and riches is not necessarily something that only comes from the outside. It's something that's definitely created from within your heart, within your mind space. So um, water yourself, nourish and nurture yourself, be kind and love yourself, and do things like this that remind you of the beauty that life has to offer and the beauty that you are. And be grateful, because why not? That's it.
Yes, yes. And as Jazzy said, just continue to be you, be the gems that you are, and be present in the moments that you have in your life, because we are living this life. Don't just, as they say, don't just survive, thrive. So we will thank you all for being with us today. And like I said, please join us again for our next episode, episode 38, where we will continue to give you a little bit of a window into each of us Lotus ladies and our past experiences, our pearls of wisdom that we've gained. And we will have more of that for you next week. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you again. Take care, guys.
Bye.